Morning, everyone. Wednesday morning, midweek already. Going to let a few more people join here a little bit early to the stream this morning. Hope you all had a good evening. Maybe some of you traded earnings last night. Maybe some of you traded into London and Asia. Nice fade overnight. All right. So those earnings, Palantir, AMD and Google got absolutely slapped. We've had more news coming overnight on some of these issues with these tariffs. So some postal service issues. We just see now Trudeau just came out saying, he's currently talking right now, saying that he's going to set up a conference. I think it's for the 7th, which will be in 2 days' time, to go over stuff with America. We also have Barkin speaking currently. And we have lots of news events today you need to be aware of. Right, 9:45 PMI. 10 o'clock ISM, and then we have Fed speakers at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, so through lunch. I do not want to be around for those Fed speakers, right? Barkin loves talking. He drives me absolutely mental. I do not want to be around for when he's talking. We all know what they're going to talk about. We all know the question is going to be on the tariffs, how it's going to affect inflationary pressure. Are we going to have stagflation? Does it cause more of this higher for longer scenario, right? I don't want to be around for that because there's too many unknowns right now in the market. Like we saw yesterday, I warned my team yesterday when Trump started talking, you had to be very, very careful. And that's when we had those rather large flush candles out of nowhere. So let's go over chat and then we're going to go higher time frame all the way down. Good morning, DJ Noah, Vanderman, Miguel, Crawford, Chris Thorne, Jeff, Thumper, Vince Ramos, Jesse, Coop, Wisdom Lover, Capt, and BU, Glenn, Peter Curry, Exister, TR. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. Thank you for joining. So let's get into it. Daily chart, as we always start on. All right, no, same thing here every time we talk about it. All right, rotation, top Bollinger Band, lower Bollinger Band, near the top, near the bottom, now pinned. All right, pinned in the mid. All right, so 2 sigma standard deviation here, 2 sigma standard deviation here. We are equally positioned. Right now, we're positioned right between 5-day and 20-day, just bouncing around here. When we're in these kind of moments, what are we doing? We are building liquidity. This is a sticky level. You can see here, 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 sticky level. Not enough acceptance above, not enough acceptance below. So we keep coming back to the midpoint of this range on a daily. All right. So sticky, likely to build liquidity here. Yesterday, what did we have? It's important to understand what we did yesterday. Yesterday, we filled this gap. We drove all the way up on this daily candle, all the way up, completing the gap here, coming and tagging this level here. All right, very, very important level on Friday from the daily. And then from there, we pulled back and on close, we washed down. All right, so Asia London washed down, trying to attack back into Monday, all right, into Monday close. That's what it's trying to attack it back into here. Into this. So wick, trying to create volume in here. We can see this better when we move to the hourly chart. So let's do that now. On the hourly chart, what do we have? All right, so big sell-off over the weekend, pin low. Higher, higher low, higher low, higher. This can potentially be a higher low, even though we're breaking trend. What does that mean? This will go sideways for a bit. All right, and in here, we create our liquidity. Okay, so we've broken this strong uptrend, but we're still producing a higher low. Yet to produce a higher high, still producing a higher low. So this can be your liquidity building phase. We can see this as we're pinned in between yesterday's afternoon pullback, or it would actually be the morning pullback. This right here, the morning print. Remember, we got long for this squeeze yesterday, and we found some supply up here. Then we traded sideways for a bit. And then we broke down underneath here. Remember, that's where buyers got stuck. And we broke down, came back to the area, back testing where buyers were yesterday. So breakout, pullback. This is holding for now. Question is now, do we just need to build more liquidity? Are we going to rotate? Okay, or are we going to have a breakout or fail breakout? So the areas I'm watching is yesterday's open here, this blue level, current value area low on the overnight session. I'm also watching this level here. Now we can do this as orange so it matches some of the others. The reason I'm watching this level above, right, is this is where buyers got stuck. So there's your afternoon pullback flush. This is the trap we talked about yesterday. I was looking to buy, which I did buy for that drive back to the upside. Once we drove back to the upside and we failed underneath this, we know buyers from here that were here. This is their stop. These guys are currently stuck in the market. Point of control yesterday up here. So if you were a buyer up high yesterday, you're waking up underwater. All right, so this level here where their stops were becomes important. If we fail this level, I expect rotation between the two of these. If we fail here, we can rotate lower. If we start reclaiming this level here, then possibly we get this, right, for a drive back up into supply. Once we get into there, we're thinking about a few things. We're thinking about breakout and failed breakouts. We have unfinished business. Remember, 725 is where I expect the market to want to try and go. If we can get above and hold through there, 910. Failed breakout would be a rotation that looks something like this into here, peak above, fail, back down inside of the range. All right, just creation of liquidity. So what pays when we're playing the range? Edges, right? Edges pay. That doesn't mean you want to be picking the bottom or picking the top, but once it becomes clear, you can trade from one side towards the other side, and then if this fails, we can trade from one side towards the other side. What you don't want to be doing is buying high, hoping for that breakout in a range that's likely to get you stuck. From a technical standpoint, I would say on the hourly, we are technically in an uptrend still. Even though we've broken this, we're technically in an uptrend. I'm just very cautious about this yellow box up here. All right, if we keep failing here, it's going to be problematic. I'm kind of expecting a range rotation day. I'm kind of expecting something like this today. Maybe a slight expansion, an expansion, and pull back inside. Maybe something like that. Until it proves otherwise. Tech sold off massively overnight. All right, so I think it was other than Nvidia. Yeah, Nvidia gapping up. Everything else, Tesla gapping down. Meta kind of trying to hold its gains around the 700 mark. Google got absolutely shit on its earnings. All right, so it drove up to 211, hit a low of 189, currently sitting down there at 192. So do they find a bid this morning, or do they continue to sell? Amazon sold on Google's earnings as well. Microsoft with a slight gap down, still in a range it's been holding this week. And Apple as well sold on the Google earnings, right? Got absolutely decimated last night, giving back quite a lot. So yesterday it was up at 233s, opening today around 227. So about a 5-point give back there. Right, so have to be aware of what's going on there. Looking at the VIX, VIX gapped up, now fading all the way back inside that demand. So back into yesterday's range. Most of the ETFs looking fairly similar. SPY looking surprisingly strong here. Let's just have a quick look at FinViz. Oh, that won't actually even print. So I'd imagine you've got some healthcare sector or financials running at the moment, bidding up. So into this lower time frame then, that we execute off. All right, so you can see this orange. Make sure you can see that. All right, so this orange block, this yesterday is where the buyers were. Afternoon pullback became, right, support becomes resistance. SBR. If we reject this, we're going to trade back down into here. We can think about this London low and maybe this sort of double bottom area here. If we reclaim this, we can maybe try and grind up into supply up here. You've got equal highs up here, lots of stops here. Remember, there was a seller yesterday at 700 and 725. All right, I haven't seen him on the book yet this morning. There's a 41 lot at 700, so that could be him. Not much above him until we get to 800. So definite range rotation possible. I don't know what this market wants to do right now. It has to digest everything right now. It's Wednesday. It's midpoint of the week. We had a huge gap down over the weekend. Monday, Tuesday has gone and filled that gap. We're now trading as Wednesday inside of Tuesday's range. Remember, Tuesday's range is this. We are trading inside of Tuesday. If we can get outside of Tuesday, then maybe we go up here. Otherwise, we can keep rotating and testing each level of extreme until the market knows who's in control. So no particular edge. Fails into this morning, potential fade. Reclaims of this morning, potential drive up into supply. That would be the sort of two plays I'm thinking about. Watching this orange box very, very carefully. And let's see. Daniel, the right side of the V. Yeah, I mean, right now we are on a lower time frame. You would argue we're the right side of the V for this drive up. Okay, but it all depends what time frame you're playing. So if we go out for a daily, if we move to a daily, I would argue there's not much of a V right now. What there is right now is a box. All right, the box is basically this. Okay, so yes, the right side of the V on the lower time frame right now printing higher. But if we move into these higher time frames, it starts to look a little bit more messy, doesn't it? So it's just about being sensible this morning, not overcommitting to something early, remembering there's news. I'm expecting more headlines to come out of China, all right? So we didn't get too much in terms of talks yet between China and Trump. So I'm expecting something there. That will move the market. For me, that's the biggest fear right now in the market. I'm not actually too concerned about the tariffs with Canada and Mexico. If any of them aren't going to play out, it's going to be those. The ones that will play out are more likely to be China. Why? Communist country doesn't give two craps about America. Quite happy. It's already played its hand. It's quite happy to impose tariffs back the other way. All right. And that will affect the market far more than the other two. Why? Because we import so much from China. Everything you're getting off Amazon and all these companies coming from China, all these tech products you're currently using, the monitor you're looking at, the laptop you're using or computer you're using, the mouse you're using, the keyboard, the lights you might have on, everything is from China. That will massively affect the economy. All right, 2 minutes until open, so you know what I'm thinking about. Watching this orange box. If we reclaim, maybe thinking about that drive all the way up into supply. If we start pushing and failing this morning, make sure that's in the right place for you, then I can think about that short back down. But I will not be guessing a top here this morning. I'm going to watch very, very carefully how this Mag 7 open up and react. Right, if Google starts getting a bounce at the open, have to think about if and when sellers come back into Google. If it's going to straight flush this morning, there's a good chance it's going to drag the Mag down with it. And then we're going to get increased selling pressure onto the QQQ and NQ. All right, so we have gap fill potential. Remember, gap fill will be, let's make sure we get this right. Where do we close? Here. All the way up here for 4 o'clock. So gap fill potential will be to 674. Previous day open will be the first line there for you. Take these off and get too crowded. So a cash gap will be for a drive back into here. Previous day open will be here. How we act here, sort of no different to this. This whole pullback again would be important kind of range. Watching that Asia session. 30 seconds here left till the open. I'm not looking to initiate a trade right at the open here. Let's just let it shake out a minute. And we can go from there. Asia high currently sitting at 623s as well. So if it really wants to get going this morning, maybe it goes and drives into that Asia high. I'm sort of expecting a little bit of fear in this market, but let's see. Let's see. So into that orange box we talked about, the afternoon pullback. Does it reclaim it and go for a squeeze? Can it go for that gap fill? Market opening up pretty red here. So Tesla 1% down, Nvidia almost 3% up, Meta 0.2% down, Google 7.5% down. Remember that will go SSR if it keeps fading off. Amazon 2.5% down, Microsoft 1/3% down, Apple 1.5% down. So tech, like we talked about, heavy this morning. The big thing that will matter is, will Google continue to sell and pull this market down this morning? Or has it found that sort of short-term bottom and look for a bounce up higher? All right, so I'm just going to let this market settle out. We're in earnings season. Remember, we've got news coming as well. VIX right back into demand, everything into key areas here. All right, so QQQ coming into key area, SPY trying to drive back up in towards yesterday's highs. Really, really strong on the SPY. So SPY pullback overnight into the New York Open from yesterday is trying to drive up, but it is stuck currently in supply. All right, we're currently keep rejecting that orange box up there. Google starting to sell here. All right, so if Google starts breaking down, it's going to be tough for this market to react. So it's just going to keep washing backwards and forwards while it figures itself out. Nvidia now 3% up, looking very, very strong. Not in anything here, like I said. Just going to let this market shake out. China wants to accelerate free trade talks with South Korea. All right, that would be in response to what the States is doing. Market heavy here for sure. Still in an uptrend, but market definitely struggling to move through that afternoon pullback level, this orange level that we talked about. Still very, very early. If we start to break down, though, we can go and attack. Remember, this is like a trend line liquidity. You would have to watch VWAP here. If it starts to sell, then we can come and attack all these lows down here. All right, that's what I would think about right now. If, big bloody if they let go of VWAP. And they might just keep absorbing and absorbing and absorbing this morning. There's the move into VWAP. If they let go of it, they're going to go and attack some of these lows. You have trend line liquidity. This is easy to come and sweep if it wants to. All right, it's very, very early. You cannot take this yet. Still in a bullish trend, okay? But if we start to roll over here, if we start to get stuck, if pushes start to fail, these are easy stops to come and attack. Hopefully that makes sense. I would have liked to see ES trade through 53 before any failure, really. Come and sweep everyone out. So very, very early in your session here. So let's see, do they absorb VWAP here? Pull that drive back up. We did clear out this wick up here, so a failed breakout over 50s. Morning, Leron. Morning, Myron. So far, holding that VWAP. Google now 8% down. Meta now going green on the day. Microsoft trying to go green on the day. But Google now 8% down. All right, Google getting that flush moment. A little mixed bag here on the Mag 7. QQQ holding its VWAP. SPY looks strong so far this morning. You can have a quick look at the sectors. Very, very quick look. Be nice if it updates Finviz, wouldn't it? Still no update on it. I don't know what's going on there. Not pulling data this morning. Hey, Tomek, hope you're good. So hold a VWAP here, back into that supply level. If we're going to come all the way back here, you would kind of expect it to break out. No trade for me yet. Just letting this shake out. You're not even 5 minutes in. Another 40 seconds, and you can consider your opening range break trades. If this breaks out here, you can expect a potential squeeze up and clear out of this level. And then we can think about if we can start getting up into 587 and then 622s, right? So if we can clear this out and base above, this trade becomes viable. If it keeps failing here, we come down here. Remember, this is your cash gap fill all the way up here if it really wants to do it. Market not in sync here. All right, Mag 7 not agreeing with each other right now. Can be a choppy day. We talked about it in the Discord and at the open. I am expecting chop today. Very, very probable we can print an inside bar given that weekly range, and then we can think about what we do afterwards. Are we going to protect the current high of week or not? So are we going to do a failed breakout above that high of week? Or are we going to just trade inside the weekly range? Yeah, exactly, Ty. Very, very mixed bag today. RTY, the only index up. Gold continues to be a hedge, it seems. Bitcoin back under that 100,000. SPY looks good here. SPY is showing some strength there. Still no data being pulled on Finviz. Don't know what is going on there. So back into this level. Can come and attack if it can get through these pivots. So what I'd be looking at now, this sort of pivot here in Asia, if it can get through here, all right, low run on liquidity, drive up, clear out these levels, runners into here if it can go. failed breakout, we'll trade back inside this range. So there is the drive through that 53s on the ES we were talking about. Right, so most of these have unfinished business upside. We were talking about it earlier, those sellers on the tape yesterday. So on the tape, 575, 600, and 612 currently on the tape. And above that, not that much. The biggest order right now is sitting up at 800. I'm still very concerned about failed breakouts today, given how heavy this market is. Google finding a bit of a bid here. Do they reabsorb this, or is this the failed breakout to go lower? Let's zoom this in a little bit. It's H1 into the old value area high here, into some of these key areas. Chauveau, the stream should only lag 6 seconds. Shouldn't be any more than that. 6 seconds is the fastest YouTube will allow me to stream. I would do it at the exact point if I could. It should only be 6 seconds. So Google's starting to reclaim some levels here. Reclaiming 90s now up to 193.60s. Nvidia giving back a little bit. Meta now 1% green. The Meta is so strong, up at 712 right now. Remember, 700 was the key level for it. Market's drifting higher on a bit of recovery here. Tesla, Google, Amazon, and Apple all red. Microsoft dancing around its open price. Green, just about green at the moment. Meta, Nvidia looking good. So market continues to drift higher here, reclaiming this key level. Remember, this is the afternoon pullback level. So if we can start drifting through this, we can attack higher into 623s. And above that, you can think about the gap fill. So longs paying this morning, dips held. The best buy was back down into here this morning, into this retest. These buys here would have been good for drifts higher. ES very, very, very strong, coming back up towards yesterday's key levels, right, where we found sellers yesterday. 57 up towards 68. ES drifting higher. So ES is already up in this block up here. Here's the squeeze. Very much like yesterday on the market, just continues to squeeze higher. About the previous day open here. So remember, some sellers at 600, 612, 650. They're trying to drift this market up here. ES looks way, way, way stronger. Why? Because tech is weaker out of the two today. Just be cautious if you get failed breakouts in these moves like this, right? If you get big flush points here, if they find sellers up here, you have to be careful for failed rotation above this orange box. They will need to hold this sort of afternoon pullback level and start to drive and drift higher here. If they keep failing up here, it's going to be problematic. But this is where your buyers were yesterday. Yesterday became sellers here overnight. If they start getting out, sort of break even in here, you can do this move. You need to be very, very cautious. We are still in a giant range. Here is your range. This is midpoint. And we have news as well. Do we have 9:45 and 10 o'clock news? I've got to remind myself again. Yes, we do. PMI, S&P final US services PMI 9:45, and then 10 o'clock ISM services. So 4 minutes until we get a newsprint as well. Swing high and can move up. A little bit over it for me. What I might do is put one on from here for overnight. It's trading straight into the same area. All right, this VWAP down here is going to become key today. Can already tell. All right, so back testing into this orange box. Can they hold this level? If they cannot hold this level, I'd be very, very concerned about a failed breakout. Timing today is going to be very hard, given that we've got news coming. You've got to think that Google's had that drive up. Do sellers come back into Google? If sellers come back into Google today to retest the lows and break down, it's going to be a problem. So holding this level here right now, wick to wick. Do they base this to do this move? If they fail under here, we can come and sweep these guys out. So 2 moves still possible, but uptrend still intact, holding flow zones very, very nicely right now. I'd watch that move into sort of 590 in the Asia session. You have a little pivot up there. If you get through that, then you should trade all the way up to 625. Crawford, no trade yet for me, mate. Nothing. Oh, and a high peak. Okay. This one? And imagine this one would be even lower. Oh, there you go. Very nice, Mooney. Yeah, banging into those sellers from the highs. So a retest again here. Still holding that orange level. Yeah, yields drifting down quite a lot actually as well. Dixie also down about 0.5%. Be very cautious about a failed breakout here if they start letting go of this orange box. All the time they hold it, they have the potential to drift higher today. But if they start letting go of it, you want to be very, very cautious today. Still in a range. VIX trying to find a bid, sweeping previous day's low. Stuck there for now. News in just over a minute. Liquidity on the book still there at 600 and around 600. Yeah, Meta's been an absolute beast. Absolute beast. Really impressive. Just holds all its gains, probably traps more shorts in, and then just goes higher. People probably guessing the top. Looks very, very good. You know, for any tech stock right now printing all-time highs constantly, and when the market really is just in a range, it's super strong. Super strong. So you've got to wonder what happens if we go risk on in the market and pile money back into tech. Meta's just going to boom. Flow zone still holding. Dips still holding. News about to hit the wire here. Absorb Google at these levels. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very, very possible. You've got to think Google will be due, like, if it's slammed down, you're thinking about a retrace up. At some point, you'll get some selling pressure to retest the lows, right? Like, it's normally what you would get. Why is Barkin already talking? Mate, go away. You're not due until this afternoon. Market does not need any more information right now. Market just needs some quiet. They're trying to build out some form of flag here. Like I said, I'd be very concerned if we let go of this, though. It's trying to hold this for this move up into the gap fill. Be very concerned if there's a failure, and there's still no trade for me yet. Just watching carefully. We're inside yesterday's range. We're inside Asia. We're basing above London right now. don't like that it's left all this liquidity down here. I feel not very confident about a long until it comes and takes some of these guys out. But this might be like yesterday where it just squeeze. Trying to import more agriculture products from, I can see that moved too quickly in headlines. Barking, lower labor supply from immigration is not good for firms. Why is he talking already? China to import agriculture products from Kyrgyzstan, USA, Not much there. Why is Barkin talking though? I hope they haven't moved his event earlier. All right, so still holding, still producing that flag, but this failed breakout is starting to become more and more imminent here. I'd be very, very cautious. Cannot say it enough. If it cannot hold these levels into around like 550, you need to be careful. Here we go. Finviz up now. So communications red, financial services all green, healthcare. Well, Lily's having a big day already, up over 1%. So financials doing the hard work on the SPY. That's why SPY has relative strength today, whereas Apple, Google, Amazon, Tesla all red. The financial service looking very, very strong, dragging the S&P up with it. Scheduled to talk at 9, really? Why did I have him on later? Dang, I thought he was at midday for some reason in my head. That's my fault. So 12 more minutes or 11 more minutes, and then we get that ISM print as well. Everything's still trying to build a flag here on the S&P. A little bit of congestion here in around 600 up to 625. No huge order size, but this is where they are. Again, if we hold gains here, there is a move into these Asia levels of 623. And we get above that, really, we're going to go for that gap fill on the highs of 692. Market so far holding gains and is bullish. All right, so far in this session. Still think risk exposure is a bigger move downside on a failed breakout. That would be the risk exposure in a rotational market. All this liquidity being built like this right now is exposed. If they run this and use their stops, it will wash. This would be counter trend on the lower time frame. If they hold these, this gap fill still possible. You can see it on the 2-minute we're on right now. It's very wicky here. All right, there's not a huge amount of decision and continuation higher. Just letting the market shake out. Not interested in trading this right now. Into big daily levels here. Previous day open. Into well, we're trying to base above point of control. Put this session one on. Can drift all the way up old point of control into 650s if it can really get going. Again, I still think the risk exposure is a big flush here on the market. I say big flush just to come and clean out some of these guys. Let's move to a lower time frame here. It's the only reason I'm not long right now. Don't love this look. Even if it squeezes, it can go without me right now. Just indecision, Yurima. Creating liquidity and indecision, right? No example of who's in control. This is what I'm saying right here, right now. This is the risk exposure for me. I think a big flush in the market can come here to clean out all these stops. If they cannot hold these areas, it's going to be a problem. Jesus Christ, I can't draw for you. So trend way deeper. Lots of liquidity way deeper. We're starting to get stuck building volume up here at 70s, and they are underneath those 70s. It will be problematic. If this market rolls over here, these buyers are going to get trapped above this orange level that we've been talking about all morning. Yeah, so have to be smart here. It's the only reason I wasn't buying. I don't like it. ES now trading back towards its VWAP. This market can let go here if it wants and comes and washes down. So just waiting to see here, getting close to news to think about taking a trade. Back into that box again. I do feel like this market is going to go for a deep swipe here to clear out all the liquidity. That's what it feels like. It's way too close to that news event though for me, but it just feels like this is a clear out to go lower right now. There you go. Yep. So there you go. Getting stuck there. It can come and clean out all these buyers, all right? So if it cannot hold this, like we talked about, fail breakout from here, we can rotate back down into these areas. Exactly why I was saying I don't like the longs. I didn't like the look of these longs. Let's think about that New York Open print. I probably need to put that on. Letting go now of the New York Open as well. That's not a good look for the market. All right, so if we keep staying heavy versus here, then I'm going to think about a rotation lower, especially if the flow zones can flip. If we can do that, it'd be nice. If this is going to trap into this and absorb, then I'll wait for this to prove. No, very early yet, all right? So it's still early, but we're sweeping out this. Come on. Sweeping out this. If it stays heavy here, I'm going to wait for this kind of look. If it reclaims this, then I'm going to expect the squeeze higher. But right now, I'm actually starting to lean more bearish in this move. I haven't taken a position, but I'm thinking this will be pushed to fail, especially if they start to let go of VWAP. SPY has let go of its VWAP. ES has not got there yet. QQQ is right on its VWAP. NQ not there yet. So is this a sweep to go higher, or is this a bull trap up for that drive to go lower? I'm going to let the newsprint come first. Market's starting to thin out, getting ready for this ISM print. So Google finding some sellers. So that bounce that we talked about on Google, they are starting to sell into it. This is what I was talking about. You expect a bounce on things that are flushed that high to then be sold. All right, you expect a bounce to be sold. Think about how the market moves. You're looking for that drive higher to get a nice fill to sell into. Nice rejection of flow zones here. If they start letting go, oof, it's so tempting to get involved here. How long have I got? 4 minutes to the news. I can't do it. Need to let this hourly close. Need to let this hourly close. Still no trades for me. Feels like they're going to absolutely whack this lower. But the risk is this newsprint. Taking a trade now into the newsprint, very, very high risk. Holding the New York Open here. Can just join the trend if it sets up. Even if it's a rotational play, can join it if it sets up. To remind you what we're looking at from the beginning of the stream, we were talking about this rotation from here to here. If it gets stuck here, we come back to here. If it reclaims this, we go back up to there. This is a key level. It's where buyers were stuck yesterday. Sold underneath, come back to them. We've now created most volume in the overnight and New York session right here. All right, so they are stuck right now. I think we're going to move lower here. Here's VWAP on the ES. Shame they're doing this right into the new hourly candle and newsprint, but hey, we can't control everything in the market. We cannot. So here's VWAP on the Qs. Bear flag playing out. Market, the book is all cleared out now. All right, so they've left the seller at 600, most of the size starting to leave the book, right? Because they're expecting this newsprint. They don't want to get chopped around in the newsprint. It's so annoying that they do this right before news. This just seems so high probability. This trade here seemed very high probability to here and then clean out some of these stops all the way down here if it can get going. But rules be rules. I will not take trades right into news, not new positions. I don't mind holding into positions if I'm well in the money with a stop in. But I'm not going to execute a new position into a news print. So a little bid off the VWAP there. VIX having a big drive up after sweeping previous day low now, trading above 17. It can come and trade all the way up towards its overnight high into 1774. If it gets through that, pivot into 1816, pivot through that into 19s. Any upside move like that, market will get heavy today. $40 seconds till news, so just let this play out. There's still no trades for me this morning. Letting this do what it wants. Expecting a choppy day. We are inside previous day range. We are inside the weekly range. It's midpoint in the week. We have newsprint coming at 10 o'clock. Just about to drop in 15 odd seconds. And we go from there. Range this morning, much, much tighter. All right, you'll notice current range on the session, 72 points. Much tighter in the first half an hour than the previous sessions we've had. All right, so stop run up. There's stop run up. Can they hold gains here for the drive in for the gap fill? The next question, if they're gonna, this is gonna be a trap, or is this a sweep to go lower? A sweep to go lower here. If this is a stop run and a drive up, it will need to hold gains. Letting this shake out, still no liquidity on the book here. Definitely not joining while it's this thin. Days like this, very, very important to understand what market we're in. We're not in a trending market right now. We're in a range rotation market right now. We've had a big move down on Sunday, a big move up Monday, Tuesday. We are inside that range. All right, if you overforce yourself and push yourself into markets like this when they are designed to chop, they need to build liquidity. We're between the 5-day and the 20-day. We're inside the weekly range. We're inside yesterday's daily bar. We're inside the overnight session. Its job is to build liquidity. If you fail to understand that and you force your way in this market, it will punish you. Failed breakout there on ES. Meanwhile, NQ cleared. See if I can see that print. PMI came in cooler. ISM came in cooler. Holding gain, still shaking out. Liquidity starting to come back on the book. Slowly starting to come back on the book here. Still no trades for me. This is the longest I've gone all week without taking a trade. Not going to get chopped up here. We're going to let the market make its decision, all right? Just remind yourself, you don't need to trade every day, and even yesterday, all right? We took this long yesterday. Those of you that were here with me, we got a really nice squeeze out long. Some of you re-added for this, all right? I took this short here. Remember, yesterday in stream, I said I'm expecting a short rotation back down for a trap to trap more shorts in low to go back upside. So I've got short here, long here. So even if I missed all day and took a midday short, that's one and done. That's enough. I do not need to force my way into this market while it rotates and frustrates traders. All right, just gonna let it shake out. We've not extended the range really. 94 points now in the session. ATR's just picked up here off the news to 50, 60 points. We can be patient. One good trade in this market is all we need. We can be very, very patient here. Every part of me, you will notice, every single part of me wanted to take this short, and I was like, I cannot do it into news, and that's why. Because when they remove the liquidity, these moves can be much bigger than you expect. ES now back down towards its VWAP. If they're going to start failing here, the edge of the range, we can think about that move back into the lows. ES getting very, very heavy here. Failed breakout here on the ES. Be careful because we're in a ranging market here. You have to be careful in ranging markets. But if they're going to start to let go of the VWAP, there is a case for a bigger move down here. What's Google doing? Now 8% get down. Google looking much, much heavier in the session. Flush is coming in this market now. Starting to join this short side now. So like I said, just waiting. Starting to join this underneath VWAP. Pulling some profits here, looking to extend the range. Lovely. In this short from the VWAP, lovely. Taking more money here. So we just had to be patient. And now we can look for this melt all the way back down into these sessions. All right, we expect all these buyers to get pissed off and start stopping out now. All this liquidity here. All right, so we're attacking here, partials into here. If we start to fail, we get that rotation down. Everything we talked about before the market opened. But that one trade has paid me a decent daily wage. All right, just had to wait, execute when it's there, no hesitation. And then we see ES getting very, very, very heavy here. So I would like pops to fail now in this market. That's what I'd like. If we're going to just absorb and go all the way back through VWAP, you want to be very, very careful. All right. But I want pops to fail. I want these buyers here to get stuck for rotation. If they reclaim that, then I'm not going to put any more size on. Trying to get this at a nice level for you guys to see it. We need pops to fail here, or the rotation lower. If they reclaim everything, problematic for the market. Just watching the 5 and the 15 here, watching some key levels. So back towards that VWAP. Remember, range rotation market, have to be very, very cautious here. Absorption can happen very, very quickly in these markets. Back to those key levels. Watching the book. Book spreading out a lot. There's a lot of orders just spreading out now. Messy, messy, messy market here. So reclaiming VWAP back into the New York Open. All right. If they do not fade this, you will have to be risk off. You would like a bear flag here. You would like pops to fail, but you have to understand it's range rotation. Their job is to steal and build liquidity. Build liquidity, steal liquidity. Build liquidity, steal liquidity. I would like drifts lower. Absolutely. I want pops to fail, but cannot force ourselves into the market. If it doesn't want to do it, it doesn't want to do it. So pops failing so far. We need a break of structure lower here for continuation. If it can't do that, then shorts will get trapped at these lows, right? So we have this strong trend line. We need that to let go. If they don't do that, then we rotate back up. Looking for pops to fail here for that continuation lower. Very, very whippy here. Can feel it on the tape. Like, it's a battle. It is a definite battleground. Can they build out this bear flag for a continuation lower? So all we're asking right now, is that what the market's capable of doing? If it reclaims the VWAP or reclaims these wicks, you need to be careful about the squeeze upside. But so far, looking good. Looking very good here now, team. Need it to get a break of structure for shorts to stay comfortable. Okay, you need a break of structure. Shorts will get stuck. Remember this trend here? This is a strong trend. We're looking for that to break. We need a pop to fail. It might need a 1, 2, and then do this, which is also fine. But ideally, you want some form of liquidity built here for that trade down. If it reclaims these levels here, you need to be risk off. I cannot say that enough. Range rotating markets, right? You have to be quick on the trigger. Very different to trending markets. Very, very different. So ES trying to drive back up wick to wick on the 5 minute. All right, it needs to go and test 39. If it gets through 39, it's going to test that VWAP at 41s. The market's trying to show its hand of what it wants to do here. It's going to be a battle. All right, when we're in range rotation, it's going to be a battle. We're trading at value area low now. Still think this wants lower, honestly. I think it wants lower if it can do it. It's just a big question of if right now. If shorts get caught down here, squeeze is on, obviously. Big, big battleground. Having a look at the daily, seeing if I'm missing everything. Value area low here, sort of 500. So underneath 500, we can trade down to sort of the 440s, London lows and stuff, if we can get through that. It's also a value area high from, is this Monday? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Yeah, from Monday. So we're trying to base on value area high from Monday. So it is a contentious ground here. ES trying to find some bids, desperately trying to find some bids for that upside move. Still inside range, remember, nothing's changed. If it reclaims, you cannot attack this. ES trading back towards its VWAP now. BU, I think I'll be an observer today. Yeah, it's very whippy, very quick. It's what you expect in range rotation. It's my least favorite market to trade, is a range rotating market. So back to flow zones, reclaiming VWAP here. If it reclaims this New York Open, oof, short's going to get hurt. So we'll have to reject these kind of levels here for a continuation lower. ES getting stuck at VWAP, tagging VWAP. Does it reject it hard and close below? Does it reclaim it? Still think there's a chance for this to have one more attempt to drift lower, but it is tricky. obviously, any headline can change absolutely anything right now as well, as you would have found out tomorrow. ES rejecting VWAP here. Starting to want to retest the lows potentially on this move. Nice from the market. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Want a break of structure here now. Locking a little bit in here. Come on, market. Let's drift lower. Locking a bit more in. That's very unwilling to go. It should have gone then. ES still looks good. VIX looks good as well. Still think we can bear flag to drift lower. It's this trend line becomes important here. But we let go of this. We should get a rotation to start cleaning out some of these stops. Remember, this is all London. London, 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 London. If we let go of this, can we clear out London? We can think about range as well. We don't want to attack too late. All right, we're at 50% right now. It's not ideal, unfortunately. On the book, 475, 450 are the levels right now on the book. 500 as well, of course. 500, 475, 450. That's where the liquidity is sitting on the book. Passive orders sitting there waiting to get filled right now. Gonna get one more shove. Gonna get one more shove down. That's what we're looking for. At least one more shove down. Big level here. Big battleground here. What we talked about on the H1. It's value area high from Monday. Value area low from overnight. We are starting to build most liquidity on the session here now. So lots of volume here. Point of control in New York session has now become here, which is not ideal, all right? We want quick moves away from that. So de-risking here for me, locking in all my profits. I can always re-attack it. Don't like that we've left this double high here. It can go and do this if it wants, and it can do this if it wants as well. So locking in here while it whips around. I'm not going to become this market's liquidity today. Absolutely not. ES2 VWAP again. Google now 8.3% down on the session. Amazon red, almost 2% down on the session. I still think lower. It's just making it very, very hard to take the trade to hold. Microsoft, 0.25% down. Apple, 1.7% down. Nvidia, 3.3% up. Meta, 0.64% up. Tesla, 2.5% down. Financial juice, I follow. So reclaiming here, this is the problem. This is where it can squeeze back up. Again, range rotation. This is current range on the session. Range rotation. This session is inside of Asia and London, and that session is inside of New York. Yesterday, range rotation. So shorts got stuck at the lows, which is why we lock in. We keep to our rules. Once it reclaims, you cannot be holding this. Still that seller, 74 lot at 600, looking to get filled up there. Back to point of control from overnight, creating a new point of control in New York at 30s. I'm risk off here, not taking anything right now. Just letting this do what it wants. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on an anchor from the open. Yeah, this is not what you want to see. VWAP flat. Flow zone's pretty much flat. Everything flat. again, this is telling me we're in a liquidity building phase in this market right now. Catch you later, Coop. Yeah, I know you love trend days. This is definitely not one of those right now. If they've trapped enough buyers up here, it's potential then that they let go. It's a big if. Yes, still stuck at its VWAP right now. Very choppy, yeah, very, very choppy. It might get that continuation soon. If they just trap buyers up there, this will be enough to do a continuation. Big if, again, it's a huge if. If those buyers got trapped up there, we can get a continuation lower now, especially if ES wants to join in. If financials are going to give a pullback, we can do it. Still watching this bear flag, basically, even though it's reclaimed. If it's failed and it trades back inside its bear flag. It's trying to do it now. So if we get a break of structure, you can think about this bear flag. This was a sweep of this, induce buyers to come back in, trade through here, trade down. That is possible right now. Still choppy in this, but it is possible. Remember, long day ahead. Don't force your way into this. And just know your plays. If you're going to take this bear flag, just have good risk reward. Understand where you're going to take money off the table. Understand where you're going to enter. Understand where your thesis is now wrong. But most of the flow, even though the flow zones are red, they are flat. They are going horizontal, right? The slope of everything right now is not ideal. VWAP flat, flow zones horizontal, both of them horizontal. And we're trading between. Right, we talked about this right at the beginning. If you go back, where does the market like to build liquidity? There's your 5-day, there's your 20-day. We're trading between these. Higher time frame, market loves doing that. They'll think we can go and attack London lows if it's ready. It's just very hard to get involved right now. Buyers trying to hold up this 500. 500, a big level here on the tape. And they keep reloading here on the tape. Through that, we snap down 475, 450. Sellers now 125 lot at 537. Is that VWAP? Yeah, pretty much. Big seller up there. Let's see if he gets filled here on this push up and if he participates. Having a little bit of a pullback here. So 130 lot at 537. He's looking to get filled there for a sell. Look at this chop. Still on the tape here. He didn't even get filled on that shove. Still sat there at 537. He's looking to get filled on a push up. Wow. Just back and forth and back and forth. Not filling any of the big players yet in the game. Remember, if it absorbs down here and shorts have chased those lows again, you get that squeeze back upside again. Still not filled him. He's adding into this, actually. Still not filled him. Filled a little bit and he reloaded on that last shove. Still there. 130 lot on the tape. Still there. Going to trade like between him and 500, I guess, for a little bit. Lots of buyer stops down here, which can be attacked. Starting to break down a little bit here. It's going to just keep trading between 500 and that until they, if these guys get run, they liquidate and they cause this event. You would expect them to want to fill the seller up here first for that move, but who knows? But look at all these stops now. Lots of buyer stops down here. ES doing a good job of trying to hold up. Still just at its view up. QQQ, SPY both underneath the view up. So the cash buyers on the day are all underwater. ES having another attempt at view up. Mad. This action is nuts. Whippy, whippy, whippy. Lots of people blowing up their accounts right now, I promise you. So if you're not trading this, you're doing a good job. Let it prove itself. Let everyone else pay for the information. Let everyone else get trapped in the market. Join the market when it's ready. We've had one decent trade today, and that's it. There you go. He's filled now on that drive. ES reclaiming VWAP. So if these buyers, all right, allowed to stay in position and shorts get trapped down here, we go all the way back up. This will cause a squeeze all the way back up if they can hold position. Your range right now is just this. Above this, can rotate higher. Back to New York Open, back to this orange block. Remember, this is the key level from before. Reclaim of this, we can go back for this. Through this, we can go all the way upside. Range rotating day. We're not in a trend day. VIX coming all the way back down to previous day low here. I'm just completely hands off right now. I'm not interested in trading this back and forth. Yes, I think we can go lower. I think we can go and clear things out, but I'm not going to force my way into this market right now. One good trade was all I needed. Orange box, New York Open, absolutely key. Barkin saying that jobs market could break towards more hiring than firing. Yeah, so far for sure, Ty. Yeah, we definitely did. Remember, we were expecting this. All right, we were expecting this. Go back to the beginning of the stream. We were expecting rotation. Here are the extremes. And here's the midpoint where buyers got stuck. So it needs to build liquidity. Whatever it's going to do, it needs to build liquidity because we're inside range. Right? Overnight traders had a nice trend. Right? This was beautiful. Failure yesterday. Retest. Buyers get stuck. Earnings are bad. Every pop starts failing, 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 failing. There's your trend. Where's your cover point? Where we found buyers yesterday. All right, this was a nice, easy trend trade. This is a return back inside. We expect some sell pressure up here, but they're building liquidity here because they can use it and use it. Barkin, yeah. He's still talking. This is what I'm saying. Like, these guys love to talk. Crawford, my advice would be absolutely wait for tomorrow. All right, tomorrow, or you can reassess later today. But if we have an inside bar today, we will be able to use the liquidity tomorrow. Yeah, so you are much more likely to get a nice trend type day tomorrow. Even if it's a reversal, it will be a trend reversal. All right, so if we build liquidity today, let's say we just build in, come on, let me draw it for it, in here all day. And tomorrow we might do this, for example. Yeah, or this, and you'll get a trend. We might do it today, later in the session, but I think it's probably more probable tomorrow. Especially if Google goes SSR. I'll be watching that. Mag 7 is a real mixed bag right now. Nvidia almost 3% up. Meta 1% up. Tesla 2.7% down. Google 8.4% down. Amazon 2% down. Microsoft 0.16% down. Apple 1.5% down. But market's holding on. TR. SSR is short sale restricted. Okay, so what that means, if a stock goes 10% or more down on the day, then that day and the following day, it becomes short sale restricted, which means you cannot market in to sell. You cannot market in a short. You cannot chase the market downside. All that you can do is short when the market comes up. So you would have a limit short higher, all right, and you'd get filled here looking for downside. What it stops is everyone piling in short and selling and forcing something down very quickly because it has to drift upside to get a fill. Yeah, I mean, it can still be a bearish day, but it's just much harder for it to have like a huge selling event the following day, right? So it's to allow the market to cool off. It's very common in small caps because they can easily do 10% days. It's much less common in the mega caps, but the reason we're having it in Google is because we had earnings yesterday. So it's gapping down massive off the earnings. If we go to Google, all right, there's your gap down. Take this off so you can see it. Big gap down. So buyers are trapped up high. What did I say this morning? We expect a drive higher and sellers to come in some point. Now we're drifting lower on Google. I would have been shorting all pops this morning if I was trading stocks on Google for sure. Look for that first bounce and a short. Oh, Ty, I almost don't want to, honestly. We're already 2-0 down and it's a shit cup anyway. That's what I tell myself. I don't know how to say your name. Indicator. There you go. This is the Sati volume. Sati volume. I think it's free on TradingView. So here's the squeeze, reclaiming those levels, still within the initial balance. Remember, the IB is about to be set any second now. IB high, IB low on the session. Range rotation continues. All right, range rotation continues. Any second now, or in 30 seconds, you'll see the purple lines start to print for the initial balance. So all of you new to the channel, don't forget, hit the subscribe button. All right, I'm here Monday to Friday from the pre-market. We go through the trade analysis, what we're looking for, what we expect, and then we try and execute it. So some days, like yesterday was a great day. Anyone who traded me yesterday, we had some nice longs. I actually caught that short into lunch and re-added as soon as I got off stream. They started flushing it. And then I caught the long for the trap that we talked about on stream all the way back upside. Today, not as easy. We still had a nice winning trade, but this is a harder market. Rotating markets are harder markets to trade. So here's your initial balance. These purple lines starting to be printed here, you see. That's your IB. Into the golden zone of this drive, of the morning drive. There's not really much to play off here, I'm going to be honest with you. There's not like some big imbalances that I'm looking at or anything like that. I'm not really interested in taking a trade in this location now. Right, from a structure point of view, I guess if we hold this, technically we're bullish for a sweep of this. We would need to hold this for a return back upside, but really I'm just expecting this. And it would be very easy for me to force my way into this today. Look at the flow zones, right? They are pretty much flat. They've done this. Here's your deep pullback flow zone. Here's your VWAP. All right. Compare that to trend. Look how nice they are on trend. Trend up, trend up, trend up, trend down. This is bullshit. This is how you lose money. All right. So you don't need to trade every day. If you missed that trade this morning, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Long year ahead. Like I said to my team this morning, you know, even the volatility in the market right now is coming because of the uncertainty. The market hates uncertainty. We're forward looking, right? We need some certainties in the market that we can price in. We don't know what we're pricing in right now with the tariffs. 1 minute the tariffs are on, then they're paused, then they're not paused. Then he's having a discussion with Zhao. Then he's not having a discussion with Zhao. Then he's saying we're going to go to Gaza and take over the strip. Like that increases potential war pressure. There's so many uncertainties to the markets like this. All right. It's having a spasm a lot of the time because we can't price it in. Long year ahead. Just size down, take your time. Let's get through this week, this month, no, this day, this week, this month, this quarter. Let everything be a little more settled and priced in. We're only, 5 weeks into the year. All right. He's only been in power, I don't know what is now, like two or 3 weeks, 3 weeks or something. Nothing. Long year ahead. You don't need to make all your money in one day. Just remind yourself that. You trade for freedom, right? You trade so you can make your own decisions. Don't be a slave to the charts and sit here all day long, forcing your way in and out of the market, becoming the liquidity for the market makers to have fun with. Don't be doing that. Right? Just be chill. Half the battle is knowing your game plan. All right, so some guys in my room who will just trade after the initial balance. They know what they like to trade. They trade traps after the initial balance. Right, I like trading trend where possible. I don't even mind reversals. What I hate is what we're currently in. This is not something I'm looking at thinking, oh, this is an attractive market. I'm going to put a load of risk on right now. Hey, Red Dying, good morning. Now, if this is going to go upside, where is it going to go? It's going to go for here, and then it's going to go through that for the Asia high, which will be 624, 625, and then it's going to come all the way up here. So it'll be here. Where's 24, 25? All basically the same spot. So this could cause a stop run to here. If it can hold this, gap fill, previous day high. If it can hold this, if it can do this bullish move, it's going to need Google to participate in this. It's going to need tech to have a bit of a relief bounce to do this move. Can always join afterwards. Can always, if you're looking for the short, you can always wait for the failure and join once it's clear. I'm just not going to trade inside the initial balance right now. I will not do it. No way. All right. IB day inside of Asia London session, inside of previous days, candle structure, inside of the weekly range. There's just no way you're going to catch me trading this right now. Doesn't mean you can't trade it. All right. If there's something here you like, you can trade it. So this was not a bad long. All right. So flush, sort of W, hold, push, pull back into this pain point. This wasn't a bad long, but you know, it should come up here. But on days like this, it can just as easily have the failure patterns. And that's why I'm not going to trade right now. I would be leaning upside from a technical point of view right now based on the chart I'm looking at. And I do not like the levels when we zoom out and think about where we got stuck. It's where buyers were yesterday. Every push up into here, failure, failure. We reclaim this and build liquidity out here. We can think about this for later in the session or tomorrow. I don't love longs up here to get stuck. All right, there's not enough upside room for me right now, in my opinion. But hey, that's just for me. Doesn't mean you have to do the same. Yes, Yulimar. Yeah, it's the extremes. So the first hour, the high of the hour and the low of the hour. All right, just whatever that is, body or wick, it doesn't matter. The high of that first hour in the New York and the low of the first hour in New York. Financials having a day here, looking for it very, very good. Lily now 1.3% up. Most of that healthcare is green. Real estate is green. Utilities are green. Consumer is green. Nvidia having a decent day, right? Strongest in the market right now. Weakest in the market, Google, Tesla, Amazon, Apple. Yeah, Ty, that's because we've got no breakout traders in the market. Here we have to build liquidity. So that's a good read there from you. Ty's saying we have 1 million less volume in the ETFs today compared to yesterday. It's because we've got no breakout traders in this market right now. Easiest way to see this right now for me is just in this hourly chart. Remember what we talked about this morning? Strong uptrend. If we think about this, pivot low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, potential higher low, but now trapped in between this. So we can do an H1 flag here or here and do this. We can equally get stuck and come back down and sweep some of these. Right, because this is a strong move up, back testing this area here. Right, so we don't want to be buyers too close to this. Right, this is where we failed from. This is where buyers are stuck from. This is a grind back up, might be a fail. When did we last see that? Last week. Right, same premise here. Here's your AI fail. Boom, grind up, fill the gap, find this same level. What do? Sell. Right, so we don't want to be buying up in these levels at the tops. Just basic support and resistance or supply and demand, however you want to phrase it. It's just drifting higher here. That buy looked half decent there for that move up, holding the New York, holding the orange section. It should really come and take out this guy here and here and here and here if it's really going to get going. Again, you're still just inside of initial balance, so initial balance rules do apply currently. Slower day. Feel free to ask me some questions in chat. I'm not actively searching for a trade right now, so happy to answer any questions that you have. Tyson, it's so obvious when you show it. I still struggle to see it for myself sometimes. What do you mean, the higher time frame, like support resistance kind of things, or which part? It will just come with time on the charts. And the more you zoom out, look at the higher time frame, the easier, you know. I'm always, like, for me personally, I'm very, very focused on the hourly, right? So even on this hourly now, what are we doing? Where did we fail? There's your trend, failed right into it. This trend goes all the way back to the start of the pivot. 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, breakdown, retest. Where did we reject this trend? That trend line that apparently never worked. That's where we found rejection. The supply zones. Yep. Yeah, just think about, just location is so important. If we think about how markets move, what have we done? We had this huge pivot up into 2 weeks ago on Sunday. Boom, slap down, right? Buyers get stuck up here. We do this. Boom, come back down. Okay, so new supply level. And we do this. Right, what do we do here? I don't know. Maybe we go boom. Maybe we build liquidity and we go back upside. But what we don't do is initiate buys here, right? We initiate buys down here for the trade up. So location and momentum. You can always think about location. Momentum will really help you. Just see Peter Curry saying he got long VWAP for the move to IB. Long VWAP for the move to IB. It's a nice move, mate. You are trading very well, my friend. Yeah, much tighter range today. 112 points. Again, you have to expect it. You have to expect it. Why do we expect it? Daily chart. Look at the size of Monday. Huge. Size of Tuesday. Huge. Why are we going to do this when we've got no liquidity built in here yet? Right, we need to build liquidity, and maybe if we're going to do that move, it comes Thursday or Friday. And we need an inside bar inside this, really. Right? We print inside this, we will trap liquidity. After an inside bar, we can break out. Breakout traders come in, we expand. I can give you an example of this. Let's think about what is a flag right here. Expansive move, inside bar. I know it has this wick, but ignore this wick. Most of the volume was done here. Expansion. Here, big drive, inside bar, 2 inside bars inside this range, gap down, everyone trapped, island high, boom. Yeah, inside bars is where you build the liquidity for a continuation or a reversal of the move, but it is always where you build liquidity. Always in an inside bar. It doesn't matter what time frame that's on. Think about what a flag is. Think about what a flag is. Think about this bar here, pretty much inside. Expansion, pullback, pretty much inside, expansion. Right? Think about this range here. Pullback inside this range. If you did a 2 minute, this would be 1 bar or a 5 minute. Break out of that, expansion. Right, so just understand what an inside bar is and what, like, why it's even used. Nice, Peter. Yeah, I think that's a good decision. Right, bear with me, team. I am going to get another coffee here. So I'm going to need it to stay awake. Fire your questions in the chat, anything you need. I'll be right back. Here we go. Yeah, BU saying Peter Curry, you kill it every day. Yeah, Peter's trading very, very well. I think I don't know how long you've been in chat now, Peter. A couple weeks, but very impressive. Exister, the coffee break is brought to you by the NQ liquidations team. Yeah, I'd love a coffee sponsor, Aaron. Maybe when the stream gets big enough, I can approach someone. Tomek, we're on the 5-day, 1 month, and 3-month point of control. Yeah. This is a heck of a balance. Strong move coming, considering the ascending 20-day, 50 days, which are hovering now. Might be towards all-time highs, but who knows? Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. We have been, you're right, we've been in this for a long time. Like, look at the weekly. All right, this is really all arranged from a breakout above here. This is all arranged. This can be a huge weekly flag. As long as we can hold these sort of pivots here, it can have that attempt back up here, I would agree. We're still bullish, really, based on the weekly. If we start getting stuck under here, this is where I'd be worried about a Q1, Q2 sell-off. On the higher time frame, I still think we look pretty good. It would be nice to move out this range, wouldn't it? I like, frankly, as a trader, I don't care how we move out of this range. I don't care if we go upside or downside. I would just like us to move out of the range. Yeah, coffee for me in the mornings, Jesse. It's just Trader Joe's, you know. This is just a Trader Joe's. We just have one of those machines that brews it while I'm asleep. So it starts at 4:45. So when I wake up, there's some there. There's not enough in it today, as my wife started work early, so she's left already. So she probably poured it all into a thermostat cup, I would imagine. Oh, it's great to hear, Peter. Yeah, great to hear. Thank you for joining and showing up every day and being good energy in the chat. Makes a difference. Having good people in the chat makes a difference. You can always share knowledge. You're never too old or too wise to learn something new, including me. Love learning new stuff. Right, 10 minutes until you get that new hourly candle right now. I haven't been able to take out any of the liquidity above, but what I would say, we've been up here quite a few times right now. All right, so ES did sweep this earlier in the session, the equivalent of this ES swept. So we've been up here a few times. A move through here can cause a stop run. All right, if shorts are having their stops here, they stop out, can cause a liquidation event to the upside. All right, so a short stop out there, you can have a liquidation event upside. Still just inside the initial balance, though. Initial balance rules technically still apply. We are not in a trend up right now. I know off this pivot for the last, I don't know what this is, half an hour or so. We have this like W here, pivot up, pivot up. All right, but this is still in a range. So you must, if you took this long, like Peter, you take some profits and you hold runners if it wants to go, because there's no guarantee of upside until we're above the initial balance and we break out, confirm, and go. Bostelo, is that a coffee brand, Miguel? I'll check it out if it is. So some failures up here. ES starting to roll over in front of its initial balance. All right, SPY coming back down to its VWAP. All right, so the cash VWAP is sitting right now at around the 600, 615. We just hit a low there of 626. So SPY coming back down towards its VWAP. We are remain in a range rotation. We are not in a trending market. When you went to England, you had tea with cream. Yeah. Did you have some scones with that as well? It's a very British thing to do. And have like tea at the Ritz. Come and bring you out cakes and scones with tea. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Spanish coffee. The only Spanish coffee I have is like well, if I've got a sweet tooth, I'll have a cafe bonbon, which is like really bad for you, but it's nice with condensed milk. So an espresso and condensed milk. I'll try this one that you're talking of, Pastello. So some bids coming in there on the SPY in front of its VWAP. Yeah, or like a Vietnamese coffee. That's with condensed milk as well, isn't it? I don't really drink those. I will say. The last time I had a Vietnamese coffee was 2012 with my wife from Broadway Market, and it felt like I'd done a bag of speed or something. I was so jittery. I felt sick. I don't know what it was. Just too much caffeine into my bloodstream with the sugar. It was like they taste so good, but it just made me so sick. I ended up going to a festival and throwing up. Long time ago. Funny how those stick in your mind when you have like an event like that. It's like the first alcohol you ever get drunk on. You can never ever drink it again. Mine was Malibu. As a 14-year-old drunk on Malibu. Like I said, they're trying to build a liquidity up here. If they can build enough shorts into this market up here, they have the chance to go and attack them. 600, 612, and 650 still levels on the book. And the range rotation continues. It's just so boring, isn't it? So boring when it's like this, but it's good discipline. Good discipline. To a 2-minute, clean it up a little bit. Biggest buyer on the books, way, way, way down at 500. 106 lot at 500, 125 lot at 450. Right, so he's looking for a rotation back towards the IB low to clean out all these stops. I can understand why he's there. He's looking for maybe a failed rotation, failed auction, and a move all the way back down. Too early to think about that yet, but that's definitely where a buyer down there looking for that move right now. He's been there all day. He hasn't moved. And the 650 seller, I think he was actually up a bit higher earlier, about 15 minutes ago, and he's moved his order down. I still think this wants to trade upside, clear everything out, and then we can see what's what. Maybe SPY and ES go for the gap fill. Maybe we get some divergence. I would be surprised if NQ manages to do a gap fill today, just because the market's so red on the mag. But it doesn't mean it can't. But, you know, it's hard to imagine we do a gap fill with Tesla 2.2% down, Google 8% down, Amazon 2.3% down, Apple 1.25% down. You'd need most of those to go red to green. Bond's getting absolutely whacked, almost 2% down. Amazing. Yeah, ES. Yeah, exactly. Has got that look. ES much stronger today. Again, with the financials being green, ES looks much better for that upside move. Remember, the weight in ES is far less with tech. So Google offers much less weight in the ES, and it has sectors which the NQ doesn't. So like financials, we don't have in the NQ. So with financials being green, if they keep drifting upside, it's going to help ES just move upside. Stuck there again at the ES. These 50 levels kind of important. Needs to come and clear out 55 for that squeeze up to 62 and through that high of day of 69. I'm pretty sure it's got some unfinished business up there. I don't think 69. I think, yeah, 69 is the Asia or London Asia high from yesterday. It does need to go and sort of clean up that high, but so far rotation continues here in the market. I'll pick my time today. If it's ready for a trade, I'll get involved. But right now, nothing yet. I would like a clear out of the highs before I even think about the short, or a clear out of the highs and a base before I really think about the long. Don't really want to go for more range rotation. Remember, if you're playing range, technically, you're short versus this for a move back down into here. And you're long versus this if we come back down for a move up. But I don't like that. I think these get absolutely annihilated if we get down there. It's far too many stops down there. Gary sent me a pic on Discord. Let's have a look. Oof. The bright yellow scares me. Strong packaging. It's like a warning shot from a wasp. I bet that hits hard, that coffee. Catch you later, Peter. Catch you later, mate. Have a good one. What's this news? I can see news hitting the wire. Hang on a second. Is this from Hong Kong? Hong Kong Special Administration Region Government expressing strong dissatisfaction with the US tariff policy. We will take possible actions to defend legitimate interests, including considering taking matters up on WTO. That's to do with the Chinese tariffs. Lots of companies probably in panic this morning, saying that I think, is it UPS that's not going to saying that they're not going to post goods now? That is problematic. If that happens, you can say goodbye to your services from like Alibaba, Wish, Temu, DHgate, all these things. I mean, let's have a look. Yeah, unsurprisingly, Baba getting absolutely wrecked off that news, right? Big gap down. So you got to imagine the Chinese ADRs don't like this action right now. Even like Li Auto, let's have a look at some of these. Yeah, another gap down. Neo, probably the same. I haven't traded these for a long time. I used to love trading Li Auto. I think my biggest ever winner was on this, to the short side. Yeah, big old gap down. Yeah, lots of unknowns in this market, like we keep talking about. So we're going to have indecision in this market for a while. USPS, yes, Miguel, exactly. That's it. That's the one. They're worried. Yeah. Those of you new to the stream, I'm here Monday to Friday. From pre-market, we go through top-down analysis, what trades we're looking at, and why we're looking at them. I try and teach as I go, try and tell you when I'm looking to enter, why I'm looking to enter, so you can learn as I go, or as I trade, and then you can execute however you feel fit. If you want more in-depth knowledge, you can do my course. Okay, it's 20 hours on demand. With that, you get lifetime Discord and you get this indicator that you see in front of you right here. All for a one-time fee. All right, one-time fee. Those of you who are interested in trading props right now, my two favorite firms by far are Traderify, where you can do direct funding without having to go through the evaluation process, or you can do the advanced or growth accounts. You can do the equivalent of a static account or an account a bit like Apex with the trailing drawdown. All of those have a 30% sale on right now using code FCT. Or if you prefer to stack and you don't mind the trailing drawdown, you can trade with Apex. I still trade with Apex as well. Those links just got posted in chat. So everything there for you. Again, code FCT will get you the best possible sale. It's currently, I think it's 80% till the end of today. I think Apex sale finishes today. Let's just double check that. I don't want to give you the wrong information, but I think it finishes today. Yes, in 12 hours time. Almost 13 hours time. So Apex sale ends today. Any of those who are interested. Curious, would I use those instead of my own cash? I would, yes, definitely. Definitely would be using those instead of your own cash. The reason why, you get more leverage. You have rules put in place to stop you doing anything stupid. And if you do something stupid, your only risk is whatever you paid for that account. So even if you got the $150,000 account for Traderify, direct to funding, and I don't know what it comes in at the moment with the sale. Probably like 400 and something, 450. You will get like $4,500 or $5,000 effectively in leverage. That's your loss limit. And you get to size up. You can use 17 contracts if you really wanted to, and you can just scale. Alex, what happens if you get the funded account, you break the consistency rule, i.e. you make more money on some days? Aha, I've actually done that recently without realizing, because I had a limit fill in and it got filled way further than I wanted. You just trade more days. It's not a big deal. Yeah, so if you've made too much money, you just trade more days. That's all you have to do until you get that consistency down. It's really not a big deal. You just keep trading. It's not like you're going to lose the account or anything like that. Quite the opposite. You just keep trading and you'll have more of a buffer in when you do take your payout. Okay, so there's a flag trying to be built out here on the ES and the SPY and the NQ, right? So they're trying to build something out like this. All right, I'd be cautious if they just keep doing this. You know, when we get these moves, these are when they like to come and sweep these guys out, right? Liquidity is better being built this way with extension, rather than this. When it does this grind, it likes to come and clear them out. What is an example of this recently where I said we're going to have to do a bear trap to move higher and liquidate all the bulls? It was yesterday. We talked about it on stream. This right here, I said to you, they're going to liquidate them and they're going to come lower to back test areas where we broke out from. Right, so anyone who was on stream, there's your short yesterday, continuation short. From this point, bears chase, and we go bullish back upside and use this liquidity. Very, very similar. When you see these patterns here, when they're not deep enough flags, it's where they're building liquidity that they will go and raid and force shorts to chase. So want to be careful here with these kind of patterns. They keep doing this. Shallow pullbacks at some point, they will raid them. So still just in a 112 point range. I mean, it's actually not bad, but we've got so used to having these 400-500 point range days. It feels tiny, doesn't it? It's actually not bad. Actually back to somewhat normal. We have got that Asia high looming there, 623-ish. Okay, if we can trade through that, we can come all the way up into sort of 650s, old point of control up there. If we get through that, we're going to trade into 692. If we're going to get through that, the same levels as yesterday, 725, 910. Market just really not doing a lot right now, just trying to build liquidity for that run higher. You'd expect ES to come and clear out these highs at some point. Been there a long time right now. Should just go and clear out 55s, really, 55, 50s. Building liquidity to do it right now. It looks good to do it, I think. Big shove up to 6,055. Looks probable on the ES, and then a raid through that. Q's about to do the same. NQ looking to take out the initial balance high and then go through that Asia high that we talked about. And then if it can hold its gains, it's got a chance to drift upside. Okay, so then we're looking at this right here. This is your Asia high pivot. If it gets through that, gap fill into here, and you have a point of control from yesterday's right here. Okay, 50s. So POC here, gap fill here. So there's Asia high taken, like we just talked about. Squeeze is on now. Can it fill that gap? So probable move now taken through the overnight session. So London, Asia, all taken out. All shorts from London, Asia now out of the money, squeezed out of their position. The question now is, can it drift into the old point of control? Old point of control is 653-ish on the NQ. So another 20 points. If it can get through there, remember the gap fill, cash gap is up here. All right, this will be settlement on the QQQ if it can get up there. It's a big ask considering what's happened to Google, but who knows? Nice, Tyson. Good work. Yeah, I mean, there's some longs here for you, isn't there? While I'm talking away, convince myself not to trade. I mean, these became probable for that liquidation event up here. Now you have to see if it can base and hold. If it can base and hold, like we said, it's got areas it can trade to. That 650 is yesterday's point of control. I will put that in for you right here. Previous day point control and gap fill and previous day high. That's where it's trying to drift back towards now. If it can get back up there, remember, then if it can do any form of breakout above this, then the H1 trend, all right, remains bullish. Why does it remain bullish? Because if we go back to the H1, remember what we're talking about from a technical standpoint. We're inside range, but there's your low pivot. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. It needs a breakout of this to create a higher high, and then we'll be looking for a higher low and a continuation upside. Back testing the initial balance here now. Remember, Remember, you have auction, failed auction theory. Now, applying. Needs to hold, I would say, the initial balance or this backtest area here. Failure to hold this, you get liquidity here and shorts can come back in. It needs to hold this for a bullish continuation into these pockets. All right, this is resistance. So resistance becomes support. It needs to, these stops here need to become buyers in the market for continuation upside. Failure to do that, you can get a rotation lower. Remember, we built trendline liquidity up here. We talked about it earlier. So it can go and raid them. If this is a failed breakout, it can absolutely go and raid all these lot. Oh, I'm so sorry, Array. All right, so it needs to hold this area here. Failure to do so. Right, if we get in here, these become easily raidable. Remember, we talked about that trend line, that kind of move. The ES back testing right now into its resistant becomes support level. Sorry, Array. You're always good at reminding me. You are good. I miss it all the time. The structure technically it's still bullish here. But if it keeps failing up here, there is a possible raid lower. What's the time? Plenty of time left. We're getting into those H1 blocks up here. Where we found sellers yesterday. We're definitely getting into those levels right now where we found sellers yesterday. There is a possible raid lower here. Yes, trying to find bids on that resistance becomes support level, RBS level, but it's stuck underneath its initial balance now. You have to watch failed auction here. You have to be aware of the failed auction here. There is still liquidity above for everything to go and search for. We still have the old point of control. We still have previous day close. We still have previous day high that it can search for. But a very, very easy move for the London Asia level, sorry, has been taken. All right, so the more obvious stuff, this is a bit risky here, but this move here, high probability. From this point on, I'd say probability starts to dwindle a little bit. I find it hard to think about the market closing a gap. Everything now red on the session other than NVIDIA. Very hard to think about this market trying to fill a gap, honestly, but NVIDIA 4% up, everything else red. SPY stronger because of the financials. I think we're going to have a little bit of a wash coming at some point. Liquidity still stacking higher on the book though. Seller at 650, seller at 700. They're trying to drag the market up there. They are trying their best to drag the market up there. We're stuck inside the IB. ES has not reclaimed the IB. We have not reclaimed the IB on the ETFs or on the NQ right now. All the time it's stuck underneath this initial balance. There is a possible rotation to come and sweep. All the time we're stuck here. There's a possible rotation to come and sweep there. From this point, maybe we can go for a return back up. I don't know. But we are still in a trend, not in a trend day. We are still in an initial balance day. We're still in an inside day. We're still inside initial balance. Fuck's sake. We're inside initial balance and we're not outside of the daily bar. Okay. So we're still in an inside day. I still expect rotation just to continue here. So watching this for failed auction here. Lovely. I would like to see a deeper raid here in this short right now, looking for a raid lower versus the initial balance high. Moving my stop down with it. Beautiful. Nice reads on this market. So again, very, very similar to yesterday. Let's go. Very similar to yesterday. Raiding the liquidity. I just can't say this enough. Rewind to when we were here. I was saying this is primed to get raided. There's your failed auction. Stuck here, short here, covering some here, hold runners down to here. 2 for 2 on the day. Job done. We take the layup setups and nothing else. This can still drift. Honestly, it hasn't raided the liquidity yet. This can keep going lower. Looking for pops to fail now for rotation back to VWAP. Let's flip and go. Sorry, I had to be very, very quick there. Once I started failing and I was watching ES, I was watching across all the charts. I watched the VIX reclaim the initial balance low. Moved in. I kept saying, be very careful about failed auction. Here we go. Can we trade lower? So looking for a move now through 68. Through that back down towards the VWAP and this orange box. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's flip and go. Come on, team. Come on, team. Who's teaching you and giving you this stuff on YouTube for free? So Ishaba and Trump saying now that they're going to give a statement on Friday. So just be aware of that. Friday, as if we need extra volatility on an NFP day, but they're going to give it to us. Okay, so we did sweep there. So you must take some partials here. All right, and we're back finding a bid in this orange box. Same level. You would want to see pops fail up here. If we're going to do a continuation down here, reclaim of this will just be that trap and then go. All right, so this was a high probability move down to here. From this point, I'm more risk off. Anyone catch that with me? I know it was quick. I know it was quick, but I kept saying watching in case it does that failed auction, and then it came. They return back inside and reject it, then we can get another leg down here. I said, I find it hard to think about a gap fill when the Mag 7's so red. NVIDIA, they're only one green right now. Everything else red. Nice, Steve. Bits, just bits. Hey, bits in a range rotation market is good. Trust me. Bits is good. Indicator, no worries. All right, here you go. I'm going to try and pull down the liquidity here, try and drift lower in towards that VWAP. All right, New York Open, remember VWAP, you must be taking some partials down here. If we fail that, we're going to go for these guys here. All right, these guys here are asking to come and get slapped. So if we fail this, we're going to look for this. We will respect these levels, though. You will take partials in here. Well, it's up to you. But I would say you should be taking partials into here, right? Think about this W. Push, pull, buyers came in here. Built the liquidity, failure back to this, right? This becomes key. Do we fail all the way down, or do we reabsorb, much like yesterday, and go back upside? What you don't want to be doing is attacking short too late in the day here. Yeah, it was very quick. It was a quick one. I'll give you that. It built out in 2 minutes and then flushed. SPY coming back to its VWAP already. Okay, ES a little longer to go. QQQ a little bit more to go. But SPY finding bids just in front of its VWAP. All right, like 5-10 cents in front of its VWAP here on the SPY. So this will need to build out more liquidity if it's truly going to go lower. So from here to here, here's your leg. You need it to build out this and offer this trade here. If it reclaims this level up here, you do not want to be in it, okay? Make that clear. This is where the squeeze will trigger. Should drift lower. If it does something like this, you're out. If it does this, you're out. You don't be shorting those when they're reclaiming big levels after flush points. Remember, the easy move was into this liquidity here. We talked about this This was the easy move into this point here. Now it's got a decision to make. Need to see a pop fail. I don't want to just slam this chasing it lower. I need to see a pop go upside and it fail. See sellers come into the market basically. Feels like it's just going to drift lower. Oh man, I'm not going to be able to get any more size on here, unfortunately. Drifting lower. So drifting down in towards that New York Open and the VWAP. All right, so not adding any more size as we go lower. It would need a pop to fail for me to get more size on this. Again, was I short up here? No. Split it in half. Short here, backside of the V, rotation down to here, being sensible with cover points. Ideally, I want this move here, but it's not offering it. If it just absorbs here, I'm going to be very, very careful. Very similar to yesterday. So any of you who are here yesterday, it is similar. It's not the same size, but it's similar. Look at this, like shallow, never liquidates anyone. It means these guys are ripe. So once we fail, where are we coming to? It's exactly the same as yesterday. I can't get this through enough. Just learn the patterns. All right, it becomes really obvious. We went over this yesterday and earlier today. This is the same. Failed auction, duck inside. Where are we going to liquidate? These guys, stop run. Yeah, literally identical. Identical. Different size of the move, but the thesis is exactly the same. So SPY back to its VWAP, finding some bids at VWAP here. All right, so any shorts starting to cover here into the SPY, the ETF VWAP. ES not there yet. Remember, most people are playing the ETFs. Just remember that. So bounce there, finding some support. So shorts are covering into that. Buyers are stepping in there as well. So now you have to think about, does this next push higher fail? Okay, or are we going to just reclaim all the levels? Was this, if it's exactly the same as yesterday, here's your liquidation event. Here shorts chase in, here they get squeezed out if it's identical. I would much rather see this fail into this sort of region here before we move down here and even further, but I'm going to just watch the SPY here because I have to respect that that is the most traded ETF right now. People are trading the VWAP on the SPY right now. They are bidding up this VWAP on the SPY. Quite happy if that's it for the day as well. Like 2 for 2 on a day like this. Pretty good. Pretty good. Last push into VWAP, into flow zones. Finding some sellers there for now. Let's see what's on the tape. 25 lot at 600, nothing huge, and then 650. Feels like there's some heaviness coming in here, I would say that. It does feel like they're trying to get heavy in here, but who knows? Who knows if they can get that flush point right now? Definitely a battleground again. Like, do shorts get caught here for a more of that upside move like we saw yesterday, or have they got a second leg down to the next VWAP in them in the shorts here? So we're looking for the bear flag to build out for a rotation back into New York and VWAP right here. This is what I'm watching if we're going to get that continuation. I want to be very cautious if this is the trap to go higher. Remember, we've been bullish all day. So if the trap is to short under here, right, and they get caught, they get squeezed out, and we go right away topside. A bit like this. A bit like this. They have to fail these levels now before we move down. If they don't, then we go right the way topside, right the way up. No worries, Tyson. Volume stepping in there. I think short's being squeezed out a little bit here. This level will have to fail for any continuation lower. If they reclaim these levels, we are going upside. We're going to go for gap fill if they're going to reclaim all these levels. Big contentious area here. Remember, this is where we failed from. Shorts need to hold this down for a continuation down into here. If we pivot here, we go upside. Microsoft trying to go red to green here. Mag all red other than Nvidia again. Nvidia 3.5% up. Apple 1.25% down. Microsoft about to go red to green. Amazon 2.7% down, almost 3% down. Google 7.9% down. Meta 0.7% down. Tesla 2.65% down. Market is down in tech other than Nvidia. VIX, though, struggling to squeeze back up. So back beneath its initial balance low now, letting the SPY reclaim here. All right, so financials doing the work here probably for the SPY and the ES. Remember, if this starts reclaiming, the squeeze is very, very much on. This is so similar to yesterday. So similar to yesterday. But we have these upside levels. Make sure they're still in here. Previous day point of control and gap fill, previous day high. So yes, all the way back to its IB high. Trap shorts at the lows like we talked about. Q's probably going to do the same, even though tech's week is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Looking to close that gap. You can see how important this orange level has been all day long. Right, trade underneath, trade above, back to it. Good one, Oposello. It's because we're in a range day. If you've done the course, you know that you don't use the buy and sell on a range day. Use it on... I'm not even going to explain it to you. You're a moron. Do you know what? See ya. First time I'm about to do it. Sit here and help people all day, and then you just get trolls. More and more and more getting trolls in here. Drives me mad. Trade by yourself and lose. Yeah, exactly. So back to IB high here. Does it base over the IB high for the next squeeze up for the gap fill? He's a moron. Because I know if I move it to a 2 minute or above, it will only have indicated upside. Just like that. But it's okay. People who require something to tell them what to do all the time because they fail to learn. They won't do basics like the course. They won't sit here and learn or listen to me explain the market. Hey. Literally just said everything that's going to happen. I know, Ty. I know. It's nuts, isn't it? But it's so common. So common. So ES is getting very, very close to that gap fill now. Gap fill for ES will be up towards 62s. 5-day moving average up there as well. point of control up here at 50s as well, the previous day point of control. That's where most of the volume was yesterday, okay? I mean, I do take it personally because it's my indicator and I designed it and I'm here every day helping people. So I absolutely take it personally. It's just stupid to come here. I just gifted everyone trades all day today. So I absolutely take it personally. I don't remember him saying thank you. So he's gone. He's out the chat. That's it. He can call off for 24 hours. And if he wants to come back and do it again tomorrow, he'll just be permanently banned. Simple as that. All right. So if we are going to go continuation, all right, we will need to hold the initial balance. We need to hold these levels and trade into point of control and trade into the gap fill and previous day high. If they're going to fail up here, then the same rules apply. We just continue to go through rotation. But right now, the H1 is looking very, very strong. Clearing out lots of key levels here on the H1. Let's have a look at Meta here. Meta trying to find a bounce off its initial balance low. It's actually amazing that the market hasn't melted more than it has that it's held up this well today. When you look at Meta, had a drive this morning to 717 and traded all the way down back towards, or actually underneath 700. Hit 699, trading back towards its 701. So Meta is at initial balance low. Google has traded off the IB low, stuck at VWAP right now. Tesla traded off the IB low back to VWAP and is selling back towards the IB low right now. Google traded off the to IB high back to IB low to VWAP and is getting stuck there right now. Amazon is trading at its IB low right now. Microsoft is the one finding a bid above VWAP, trying to trade upside. Apple doing the same. But it's amazing when you think of what I've said there. Nothing is above its IB high. Most of them are stuck at VWAP or IB low. Yet we are holding gains. It's actually incredible that the Qs are able to do this today. And technically, they shouldn't really be doing this off Apple and Microsoft, both of which, by the way, well, Microsoft just gone green, but Apple is red on the day. It is incredible strength that the market's able to do this at all right now. So upside continues here. It's looking like it's building that inverse head and shoulders kind of look, or cup and handle, whatever you want to call it, for the drive back up to point of control. Yes, looking to close that gap. I mean, in a trend day, this is very nice, right? In a trend day. I'm less inclined to take this. I know shorts are trapped down here, but in a trend day, this is a nice trade up to here and here. So it's more about, are you able to base and build liquidity above an IB high for that move? What's up, Idris? The squeeze continues near that point of control now from yesterday. I kind of expect this just to tear all the way through 693s up to that 725 and 910, even though that feels hard for me to say that watching the mag, but it's what the market is showing me wants to do right now. Can't argue with what's in front of me, even though it feels so odd that we're squeezing so much upside with this market. But hey, shorts got trapped. That's what happens. Almost there into POC. Yeah, still got a little bit further to go. Another 3 points into the gap fill. Something like that. It's almost there. Yeah, it's all that, like, I get it, BU. It's just weird. Like, never seen the name, doesn't join in, doesn't sit and learn, has nothing to say, and it's just like come out with negative straight away. It's just like, how do you expect to do well in life or in trading or anything if that is your average attitude? Like, I don't get anything out of this. I can sit here. I was talking to a friend last night in my trading room. We went and played a game of pool, and I was saying, I can have some jazz music on, not stream, and trade by myself all day. It doesn't make a difference to me in that way. Like, I like giving back, but there seemed to be more and more of this stuff turning up. That's all right. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's probably just a sign that the channel's growing. And there's probably a lot of people getting chopped up today, Yeah, that's it. That's it. Remove the negative energy. Very close to that previous day point of control. Very close, ES. 660s now. It needs to do another 3 points to close the gap into settlement. SPY almost there. 601, 78 if you're trading the SPY will be the gap close. Incredible push here. So we've closed the gap pretty much on the SPY. NQ lagging. Right at the point of control now, so you can see we've tagged yesterday's point of control. Still liquidity above us right now. Yes, got close to tagging it, didn't quite get there. Jesus. So some selling into the gap. Not quite there yet. It's almost there. This point of control is becoming important, it feels right now. I still think ES wants to go for that gap fill. It's so close. Yeah, we do. Not even just on a 15-minute chart. Like if you just look at that previous day high, it's definitely hanging there. But it's hot. Like, it's just nuts to think if we're going to go for previous day high, Mag 7 should all be green, right? Or it should all be flat, and we're not, and we're nowhere near. So it's like, it's one of those. ES and SPY very close. Knocking on the 5-day, they're knocking on the previous day close. Very close to that gap fill. They should really do it. They shouldn't come this close and not fill that gap. They should just do it. But previous day point of control on the NQ. Definitely finding a few sellers here. Obviously, it's the highest volume area we traded yesterday. Through this, we should just come and tack into this guy here, right? If we can get through it. Otherwise, pullbacks, you would expect pullbacks to come into this area here and see if they can find buyers in there if they need a cool off first. But like, we're so close on ES, you kind of expect just one more shove up. How close are we? 20 minutes into lunch, not far. The seller still up here. 660, 675, 700. Then room through that 750, a 59 lot, and then 136 lots sitting on the ask at 21,800 right now. Like I said, you might get a bit of cool off here first. It's surprising they didn't get that gap fill, honestly. Surprised they haven't fully finished it. They might still do it. So again, wick to wick will be sort of this level here. Possible. Hey, Labisk, good to see you back. Hadn't seen that name in a while. Haven't been training since November. Just got some gains, and now I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. Yeah, no worries, Labisk. Great to see you back. Speak to you in the room, no doubt. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good start of your year. So here goes ES. It's going for that gap fill now. Like, it's finally going to go for it. Very, very close here. 61s. Remember, 63s is the gap fill on the ES. SPY tapping into it right now. ES tapping into it. Almost there. 62s. What do we get there? A high of 62.50. Gap fill is 63 on the dot. Kind of expected just to put a squeeze and go through it and run these guys out. And then NQ is 670s. Here goes the ES. Tap, tap, tap. Tap. Literally tapping on it. You expected to get a close through it, really. SPY went through it. So the cash on SPY traded through it. Futures didn't trade through it yet. Are SPY and NQ? You mean SPY and QQQ? No, not fully in sync. I mean, they like trading together, but they are weighted differently. SPY is weighted more with what includes financials and healthcare. NQ is 60% weighted into tech. So they are weighted differently. SPY is only 40% weighted into tech. So gap fill complete now on the SPY and the ES, not complete on the Qs, right? Not complete on the Qs. It's close to it on the Qs, on the QQQ. The cash gap will be to 124.48. We traded to 124.39. We're not there on the NQ. This is the gap fill on the NQ is up here. I'm starting to see some sell pressure here as we fill that gap. If they hold that old point of control, we can keep just trading upside today. They're going to really hold it. Good absorption there on NQ. Amazing. Lots of sellers stepping up upside all the way up to 700. They're looking for like a squeeze upside here on the market and to get filled into that previous day high and sell it up here at 700 above previous day high. Remember, 725 is an old level we were looking at. What was that from? I've got to remember now. Value area low from Friday last week. If we trade through that, 910 is point of control from Friday if we really get going in this session. Seems hard to believe, but hey, it's what the market wants right now. The gap, well, this is the close, 4 o'clock close yesterday. Right, well, this is where we closed yesterday. 4 o'clock here. This was Asia London. After hours, Asia London. Cash finished here. So we're trading back to where cash traded. Right? Because no stocks traded in this time period. This is Asia London traders. Light volume. cash is traded here. Almost there now. 670 for the cash gap. And really, you just think at that point, if it's going to do that, it might as well go and take previous day high out. What a shove. There's 670 on the dot. What a shove up. Incredible from this market. Incredible. Does it have the strength to now go previous day high? It looks so strong, doesn't it? Look how steep this is. We're 10 minutes away from a new hourly bar into lunch. Yeah, it's incredible. When you think Google's down 7.3%, Tesla's down 2.6%, Amazon's down 2.6%, Apple's down 1%, but we're at almost previous day high. It's fucking insane. You would really expect most of those to be at least flat on the day, right? We should be, because this would be flat on the day here for these, right? And this would be up on the day. So you'd expect most stocks to be flat on the day here, and they're not. They are not. So it's just a very, very resilient, strong market right now. Telling you, PDH is coming. PDH is coming. 700 is coming. I'm really surprised. Like, if we can work our way out of this range, I mean, it's fantastic. If we can work our way outside of range, if we can get above 700, pull back in and hold for that next drive up to 900, that would be incredible. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it would be incredible. What a squeeze. Trap, literally identical to yesterday. It's crazy. It actually extended further, that trap. Under here. And then upside. And shorts were the fuel down at those lows for us to move upside here. It's all right. Don't get frustrated, Yulimar. Don't get frustrated. There's like another day, another trade, another day, another trade. It's how you need to think all the time. Okay, so 700's on deck here. The only longs I like above previous day high is if we squeeze above and create some form of base. What you cannot do is just be longing in here. You are asking to get slapped if you do that, all right? Almost there now, almost there now. Tapping on. Expect to squeeze through this previous day high. You would expect it to squeeze through it and run the stops. You wouldn't expect it to stop short here. There should be a stop run through this. All right, you'd imagine swing shorts have their stop here. It should trade through this and upside. Like this. There you go. Knocking on 700. Through 700 now, or right to it. Did we get through it there? 750, so we filled that guy there. Now they're adding above into 710, 712, 715, 725. They're just going to keep adding upside here, trying to drag the market up with it. Remember, 725 was a big level we were looking at yesterday. Why is that level? It's this right here, edge of here, right, where we broke down from. Trade through that, we can trade upside to point of control, which would be 910. No worries. Noise 16. See you tomorrow. So high of day, previous day high cleared out now. Trap down here. Trend above initial balance. Previous day high. Maybe into 725. Here you'd need to see it build out some structure. All right, this can keep squeezing, but you just can't long up here when it's done the move. Doesn't mean it's a short either, but look how extended from the flow zones we are. This can keep squeezing, but just think about how extended we are. I have to get some more ES levels here. So maybe SPY can drift into sort of the 607 area. Let me have a look on ES, what that would be. Geez, it's a long way on ES to do the same move. 617s. Yeah, I can't buy this right now. Seven minutes until lunch. VIX just absolutely dumping right now. Underneath all key levels. Where's it going to come back to? This can trade back to, let's get this next block in, 15s, 1544. Big old squeeze in the market, but we have cleared out previous day high. Remember, we are coming into some key levels, into 725. It will need to build out some structure here if it's going to really have a shot at going all the way back to 910. It would have to build out some structure here. Unless there's some news that hits the market, which, you know, causes a ginormous squeeze. You know, just remember Apple 1% down, Amazon 2.3% down, Google 7% or 7.2% down. Meta trying to go red to green right now, which is impressive. Trading off its lows of day. Tesla 2.2% down, Nvidia 4.65% up. So Nvidia doing this, doing the legwork here for the Qs. All right, let's see. Watching this previous day high, then you can see how key it is. Let's answer some emails there. 725, that old value area low, kind of level still key. Make sure I get this right. Right here. And then we have an H1 gap, right? So we get thin sort of above 780 for a move into that old POC. You would expect some form of pullback coming soon in this market, unless there's a reason for it to squeeze higher. Remember, this is a big move up with a lack of structure. All right, the last structure we put in was all the way down here. All right, this is a big move up, so we can expect a pullback. Unless it is able to trap shorts and just hold structure up here for a squeeze higher. But really, you would expect some form of pullback coming in this market. Biggest buyer on the takedown at 637 right now. Where would that be? This kind of pivot down here. It's holding on to previous day high amazingly well here. Amazingly well. How long to lunch? 2 minutes till lunch. What do they do at lunch? Do they just send a squeeze higher, or do they let a bit of rollover come in? It's holding previous day high. I mean, that is incredibly bullish. Insane. Wow. Insane. And tech's not moving. It's hilarious. Getting close to that next level of 725. Going to remove this now. Don't need that. Yeah, sort of 725-ish. Watching that level. Andrew H. Green, gym time. No worries, mate. No worries. Thanks for the good energy. Here we go. Here's a squeeze. Wow, it's amazing. They held that previous day high, became very, very important for them there, and they're trading into that old value area low. Like, honestly, it just feels like 910 is just going to happen now. Kind of feels inevitable in this market right now. Just incredible strength. 25s. What did we say? 25s? Yeah, hanging around at 25s. Value area low from Friday. No worries, Christy. Yeah, it's possible, Mike. It's possible. I mean, I found out, or I thought it'd be an unlikely move for today. I thought today was more likely to be an inside day, but I'm being proven wrong right now, and I have to just trade whatever is in front of me. I mean, this long capture here was nice, and this is a huge squeeze upside, and maybe it comes all the way to 910. It's just hard for me to fathom how we are able to do this with tech in a down day. But Nvidia is just dragging this market up right now. Nvidia just keeps ripping upside, 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 just breaking out upside. But nothing else is. Literally nothing else is. Microsoft's going to have a go. It's at its IB high. Amazon's at VWAP, trading off the lows. Google's inside its initial balance. Meta's underneath VWAP. This is really, really impressive. They're just bidding this up. Really impressive. You can see the power of when shorts are stuck. Oh, when shorts are stuck at those lows, it just tears higher very, very quickly. That's it for me, folks. Into lunch now. So very, very thin here. Definitely not joining. PC, Noah. PC. I trade on Ninja, and I want direct access. I'm not interested in web-based trading, so too slow for me. I think you get caught in lag. And back tomorrow. Same thing tomorrow. We just do the same stuff over and over and over again, team. Trading the same setups. Be aware, all right, hard stops, usual stuff. You know, he loves a tweet, all right? He loves a tweet. He loves to just say something out the blue. It can move the market really, really quick. Just be smart, all right? Be smart. Peace and love. Be kind to each other, all right? And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.